Yes, we all know that theme music. Time for meals from the field, and it's also time for our dear friend and my good friend, Marcia Crowley. Good to see you again.
Ray.
And one of the reasons why we like getting together, Marcia, is we kind of like, it's somewhat of a distraction from the daily grind of life. I guess you could say it's a distraction from COVID-19, the pandemic. Life goes on, holidays go on. We're looking ahead to Thanksgiving in today's recipe segment, and we've got some good one. We're actually doing pork. We don't do a lot of pork on Meals from the Field, but you've got a really good pork recipe.
I hope so. And cooking is in right now. Everybody's, home, working from home, whatever, so they like to cook from home.
Very good point.
Okay, this pork recipe is so good. I've made it at least 5 times. It's so good. Easy.
Well, can I just say, when I walked into this room, it just smelled
good,
heavily. All the years we've been doing this, 7, 8 years close to, I believe. I'm like, this smells the best. It's the best it's ever smelled, I gotta say.
This is 2 cans of pinto beans drained. Okay, I've already got that in there, obviously. We're gonna add to that a can of green chilies, just kind of sprinkle them around a little bit. And I could drink green chilies. I love them. They're not spicy. They just seem to bring out the flavor in things.
Throw some cornbread on there.
Yeah, that'd be good too. All right, then you're going to top that with like a half of a red bell pepper. Just kind of spread it around a bit. And this is sliced. You could use green or yellow or leave it out. I mean, most of these recipes are very flexible. Small red onion. And like I said, this all goes in the same dish, which makes it easy to clean up. All right, then you're going to top this mixture. That onion's not cooperating.
The onion doesn't want to leave you, Marcia.
It's not cooperating.
It likes you.
This is 4 center-cut loin pork chops. You just put those right on the top, like that. I have not tried this with chicken, to be honest, but I can't see where you could go wrong. If you don't want to do pork and you wanted to do boneless, skinless chicken breast, you could do that. All right, then you're going to sprinkle that with cumin, salt, and a little bit of cayenne pepper, which you could adjust those spices if you want. Or you're going to cover these and bake them between 350 and 375 for 30 to 40 minutes. And I'd just like to caution, this oven we have here in the kitchen is the exact same model I have at home.
Okay.
It took the pork chops twice as long in this oven as it did mine, so it pays to have a meat thermometer.
Okay.
Every oven is different. And I'm sure y'all knew that, but that's just a reminder.
Duly noted.
Yes. And then once these are done, you're going to take the foil off. You cover them with foil, take the foil off, and spread it with about, 3/4 of a cup of
Mozzarella?
Pepper jack cheese.
Pepper jack.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Pepper jack cheese. And they are so good. I'm telling you, I've made this at least 5 times.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the finished product there. There's that Monterey jack. And you can never go wrong with, you can never have too much cheese.
No, you can. And like I said, if you're going to use chicken and you don't want that cheese, you can use cheddar.
All right, what else do we have?
All right, this is, I think, a Southern staple. When I think of Thanksgiving, my mother used to always make this. So this is an apple pecan salad.
From North Georgia apples, very nice.
Of course, they are Georgia apples,
very
believe
nice.
it or not. That is 2 cups of Georgia apples, a half a cup each of red onion and celery, 3/4 to a cup of Georgia pecans chopped, and about 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. Now, I had treated the apples beforehand with lemon juice so that they didn't turn.
Okay.
So you would squeeze like a half of a lemon over the apples before you start. And you're just going to stir this up, if I can find a spot here. And you can make this a little bit ahead. I wouldn't do it, although I have eaten it a day after. But this is really good. And like I said, I think this is should be a Southern classic if it's not. All right, there's that. Get the idea of that. Everybody knows how to stir, hopefully. If you don't need to be cooking, right?
Now the good stuff.
This is a sweet potato pie.
Yes.
And I looked back through our recipe collection. We don't have a sweet potato pie.
We do now.
We do now. All right, I've already mixed together sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, and 1/3 cup of butter. I'm going to add to that 2 eggs beaten. And you can use a mixer for this. It's just easier for TV if you don't crank up a mixer.
Sure. Plus, I would get it all over myself.
And you know me, it would be everywhere. This is a teaspoon of vanilla. 2/3 cup of evaporated milk, not sweetened condensed. Just want to make sure I say the right thing. Mix that up a little bit. Then you're going to add 2 cups of cooked mashed sweet potatoes.
And you said that's evaporated milk?
Evaporated milk, not
okay.
sweetened condensed.
Okay.
Because there's already sugar, a little bit of sugar in there.
Sure.
All right, these are Georgia sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I baked them and mashed them.
Okay.
I mean, you could use canned. It's not going to taste the same.
Put some work into it, just a little
I mean,
effort.
it's the holidays.
Yes.
And you can make these sweet potatoes several days in advance, which is what I did, and put them in the fridge. I'm going to stir that up if I can do that. Pour it into a prepared pie crust. And you know me, this is not from scratch.
No, if there is one thing I've learned about Marcia over the years, she's going to go to the store and get that pie crust.
I'm just, because I'm not good at it. I mean, if you want to make your own, go for it. Teach me how to do it, because I am not real good at it. You're going to pour this in the pie crust. I'll probably mix that up a little better, but I didn't. And you're going to top that, if you'd like, with 3/4 of a cup of Georgia pecans. You're going to bake this at 375 for 30-35 minutes. And it is really good. And I'm not a sweet potato pie fan, but this is very good, very southern. There you have it.
The pecans make it too. I almost said
The
pecan.
pecans, yeah.
I almost said pecan, but
And you could leave those off, but they just make it to me.
I guess it depends on what part of Georgia you're from. Some people say pecan, some say pecan. I've always said pecan.
Pecans.
So, bottom line, as long as you're using them, that's all we care about.
That's all we care.
Marcia, that is some absolutely delicious looking stuff. And as always, folks, you can make these recipes yourself. That's why we do this. Just log on to farm-monitor.com. You can find everything you need right there in the recipe section. I have lost count. I went back through that recipe. I was looking for a certain recipe
There's a bunch.
for a personal standpoint this past weekend. And there's just massive amounts of recipes.
And when in
on
doubt,
there.
you call me.
And I just call Marcia. So, Marcia, as always, good to see you. Happy early holidays.
Happy
I'll wish you a happy early
Thank
Thanksgiving right now. You guys have a happy early Thanksgiving, and we will see you again next month after Thanksgiving.